Welcome to Founders Stories, the podcast that we are diving into the real stories behind the startups. How did their ideas came from, the challenges that they have during their way, the lessons that they learned in this project and in this process that they have. It's all about inspiration, practical tips, and honest conversation. All right, let's get to it. For everyone turning it, today we've got someone who is right at the exciting early stage of building. Something. So let's start super simple. For those who haven't met you yet, could you give a quick introduction about yourself, who you are, and where you are at with your ideas right now?
Sure. Hi, I'm Katerina Crawford. I'm the CEO and founder of Greyland Games. And I'm originally from the Czech Republic. Finland is my sixth country that I've been living in. And I am working on a job simulation game for immigrants to teach language for their work. And the phase I am at right now is back to start.
Nice, perfect. And for listeners who might not know what the early pre-startup phase really looked like, how would you explain it in your own words?
It's messy. It's messy. Well, at least for me. Some people might be way better at it. But for me, it's a massive learning curve and discovery journey. Mm-hmm. I am originally English as a second language teacher, and I am bridging education and gaming is a part that I don't know. So the learning curve is very steep.
Yeah, I know that. So tell me, what sparked this idea in the first place? Like, where was the exact moment that you said, maybe this could be something?
So in a way, I'm like solving my own pain point as well. The idea came to me when I was integrating here in Finland. So I got offered the integration language courses, and I really liked them. I really enjoyed them. I was in Onenkieli, and it was nice to be a student again, compare, being a teacher usually. And after a while, they were saying that if we write our CVs, we can start working, which to me, it was quite curious, very optimistic, because I looked around the class and there was like 19, 20 people actually, 19 different nationalities, everybody different age, gender, of course, very diverse.
Yeah, very diverse.
Yes. And I was thinking like, okay, if after 6 months I can just write a CV and get a job in here, that is very cool. That is a very bright future for everyone in here. Well, it didn't happen, of course, to everybody. Some people did get jobs. Some people eventually. Yeah. Some people continued in the integration course. Some people had to start learning something new. For example, they started changing their careers altogether. And at that point, I was thinking how to help myself as well. So I came up with the idea to start first, actually, language courses that would be focused on the work. But of course, there were some problems with like logistics and how to get a classroom big enough for example, plumbers or mechanics or, and so the gamification came in.
Wow. And you're building this from Tampere. Like it is quickly becoming a hotspot for founders. What do you think makes Tampere a good place to start, even before you have a full startup?
Community. I believe that, well, I know for a fact with my case that if it wasn't for the community in here, I would not be still working at my startup. And simply because the city is small enough in a way to find a lot of people that you can spar with and have them as mentors and have them as peers, basically. And there's a lot of support. And one of the biggest supports I found in Tribe Tampere, of course.
Yeah, actually, it was one of my questions that we talk about Tribe Tampere. How has Tribe played a role for you so far? Any events, people, or moments that help you take the first step?
It was my starting point. When I got this idea, I was, of course, like at home trying to figure out how to go about it. And the first thing was that I wanted to see if my idea even makes any sense to anybody else but me. And so I came here to Tribe Tampere. I mean, here because we're in Platform 6. And I was a little bit shy, I would say, because I thought I was not the target audience of, or target customer of Tribe, because I'm quite older than a lot of people here. I'm a single mom and I'm an immigrant and whatnot. And so I was thinking, maybe I need a reason to come, to kind of like overcome the barrier, basically, which I chose by joining some events and then eventually actually asking for an internship in here. Turns out that you don't need that. You can just come. It's fine. You're welcome, obviously. But anyways, that was in my head. And so I started here. I started to feel more comfortable with people around me, with people who were present on the 5th floor, and started talking about my idea. And then sooner than later, I realized that, this is the place for me to be because it is very supportive.
And what was the moment that you thought that, oh, wow, this is harder than what I thought? Like, what's been the toughest part for you so far, and how are you dealing with it?
Well, there was many moments like that. And funny thing is that once you see the to be toughest part yet, once you overcome it, you're like, oh, well, it wasn't that bad. And then another one comes in. Exactly. So it's always climbing mountains, like after you climb the mountain, you see another mountain. Probably the toughest one at the beginning was having all of a sudden people I was feeling responsible for. So I used the opportunity to actually collaborate with interns from, for example, Tredu or other schools, TAMK as well. And at some point, suddenly I had like 7 people sitting in around the table upstairs. And I was like, and they were all looking at me like blinking with their eyes like, okay, what are we doing, boss? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm the boss. Okay, what are we doing? So being actually responsible for people and knowing what to do was one of the hardest points, though of course they were like, for example, developers and whatnot. So I was like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be telling you because I'm a teacher and I don't have any experience with IT or anything. So that was a good learning curve as well. As of now, because I've been working on this for about 4 years now, actually, which is quite a long time. The hardest part is probably to, be true to yourself. Like, is this still viable? Does it make sense? Does it make sense continuing? I believe that right now, my development cycle is repeating itself for numerous reasons. But I think that keep going. The motivation of or having the strength to actually say, no, this is enough. Like maybe it's not actually viable at all. I think that's one of the hardest parts.
Yeah, so you're dealing with so
yeah.
Good. Yeah. And how are you testing things out? Like, are you talking to people, doing research, making small prototypes? What does getting feedback look like for you right now?
All of the above, actually. Yes, we've been talking to people, fellow immigrants as well, fellow language learners, when we were, and schools actually as well, when we were trying to confirm the method and the style of what we're trying to deliver. We have numerous actually prototypes, different levels and whatnot. First we had paper prototype, that's what I was drawing at home. Then I changed it into the first digital, which was kind of like an interactive slides, pretty much. And at this moment we are working on version that would allow me personally to, for example, put more lessons, put more content in, so that I wouldn't have to rely always on a developer. So yeah.
And what do you hope to achieve in the next year as you move from idea to actual startup?
Traction. I hope to actually have something in my hand that I could deliver to people. I've already had people trying the earlier versions before, which was quite interesting, but I would like continuous traction so that I can switch from part-time to full-time.
Before we warm up, what's one piece of advice you'd share with anyone who is thinking about starting something, but maybe like you feels a bit scared or shy, or they don't know where to begin? What's your advice to them?
Once you decide to begin, it is scary. It is scary to take the first step. But for me, the answer was community. So if you think that you need people to support you, then definitely welcome to Platform 6 Tribe. I'm there most of the time, for example. So find your people, find the people that will support you, and find people that would not only support you with whatever your idea is, but they will also tell you if the idea, for example, needs tweaking. Try to find honest people, but still kind, basically.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
It was so amazing to hearing your experiences in here.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone who listened to us and joined us in this episode of podcast. Hope to see you soon in the next episodes.